Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Shalom, or Shabbat Shalom, call halal Yahweh Shem Yahweh Hashem Kodash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops, great millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that push the word of the truth and its sincerity, the full like tabernacle of David. The elder Yahshua back with the World War III daily update. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all, to you all. Salakia. Well, today in the World War III daily update, all I can say is World War III. Earlier today, let's see, this is 6 hours ago, okay, and this one is 2 hours, where is it? 2 hours ago, Adam Mockler, okay, so in between that 6 hours and that 2 hours, a whole bunch of shit changed. So let's watch Scott and Danny Haifong's show. I'm going to let this run for about 3 or 4 minutes, and they're going to explain what happened earlier this morning or last night. And then it all just went away, right? Because things are changing that fast. The time has been sped up. And for the elect's sake, things are moving real fast. So take it away, Danny. And the only explanation of things moving this fast, and because what they did was they called a ceasefire, and right after that, it was back on again. So nobody really knows what's going on. Straight confusions.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. It's your host, Danny Haifong. As you can see, I am joined by returning guest, friend of the show, former U.S. Marine Corps Intelligence Officer, UN Weapons Inspector, author, and geopolitical analyst, Scott Ritter. Scott, good to see you again.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Everyone hit the like button. That helps boost the show. I'm joining you from Hangzhou, China, so bear with any technical issues and let me know if there are any. Scott, I wanted to open up this show with the latest breaking news, and I'll just read what is being reported right now regarding the Strait of Hormuz. It is being said that Iran has reopened the strait.
That's the first one. So this was earlier this morning. Iran has opened the strait according to Iran. So what we have to do is we got to listen to what Iran is saying, because we can't trust a damn thing that comes out of Trump's mouth.
But then a source close to, according to reports, Parliament Speaker Gali Boff said that this opening is actually practically limited based on the...
Okay. But
finance the old way.
It did say it was open, though. Okay. Whether it was limited or not, it said it was open. And now, after that, now they've closed it, so things are just happening that fast. Let me see if I can get that again.
Of Iran is fully open and ready for full passage. Thank you. Interesting, I think, gaffe there, calling it the Strait of Iran. But then a source close to, according to reports, Parliament Speaker Gali Boff said that this opening is actually practically limited based on the fact that there's now a 10-day ceasefire between Lebanon, Hezbollah included, and Israel. And these conditions, as part of a practically limited reopening, is that all passage is rerouted through Iranian territorial waters via Larak Island. Only commercial ships, number 2 here, are allowed, with Iran deciding which ships qualify, enemy-linked vessels excluded, and tows still required for security provision and passage. And then all transit coordinated by the IRGC Navy, with Iran fully controlling passage through the strait. So, Scott, maybe you can react to this, because there's been a flurry of developments that have led up to this. Warnings by Iran about the Red Sea and Bab el-Mandeb, the ceasefire, which saw Israel and Lebanon come to an agreement on this, and then Israel's breaking in the beginning. Now it seems like things have died down a bit, and Trump is guaranteeing that Israel won't attack during these 10 days, and Iran making good on its word, saying it would do something in goodwill around this ceasefire, because it's been pressuring this since the very beginning of these negotiations with the U.S. So talk about your thoughts and assessment on where we are now.
Well, as I've said, the ceasefire wouldn't have happened unless the United States recognized the futility of continuing military operations. So it's the United States that's looking for an off-ramp. Iran, too, wants an off-ramp, but it's not going to, make concessions that the United States and Israel haven't earned on the battlefield, and the United States and Israel have earned nothing on the battlefield. I think people need to understand that strategically, the United States and Israel lost this conflict. They've achieved nothing.
It's very important. So, I would let him continue to talk, but I want to keep this short. So let's jump over to Adam. So that was earlier today. And they had some sort of flimsy deal according to the Iranians. Now, with a 4-hour gap in between these videos, let's go to Adam and see what he says. Because it's going to be hard keeping up with this thing, with everything that's being said, right? Things are moving so fast.
All right, everybody, we have some not-so-stunning breaking news. After dozens of ships are now making a U-turn away from the Strait of Hormuz, after Iran has seemingly closed it down once again. This comes only hours after Donald Trump and his minions made this grandiose announcement about how it is a great day for the world.
So it's going back and forth within hours now, officially. And it's Iran doing it. Iran, they opened it. We said we opened it. Now they're saying they closed it again. They're in control of it. So apparently what they say goes.
The strait has been reopened. This morning, Iran even came out themselves and said they were reopening the straits, but they did condition it. They said, we are reopening the strait on the condition that the United States stops its blockade. Well, Donald Trump, throughout all of his grandiose tweets and posturing, did not stop the naval blockade happening from the United States, and now the Strait of Hormuz is no longer open. Now,
let's get this real quick. I'm going to get this every day. Unstable and confused. All right. 2 Ezra 9:3, there will be earthquakes, national rebellions, international intrigues, unstable leaders, and confused rulers. You see these things happening, you will know that they are what God Most High has spoken about since the beginning of creation. So that's clearly what we see. All right, we're at the end.
there are dozens of ships turning around as a mass U-turn is happening. Nearly every ship that attempted to cross the Strait of Hormuz is turning back, and this is why I caveated my reporting this morning so much. I said very clearly on my show this morning that the mainstream media is reporting this as if the war is over and as if everything is done. I said I have my doubts. I would bet that the Strait of Hormuz is going to reclose. I would bet that Lebanon will probably get hit by Israel in the coming weeks. I mean, there's so much to this that is still unresolved, and the United States still is not closer to getting rid of Iran's enriched uranium, which was the supposed original goal of the war. Iran is not any closer to having a different regime, which was supposedly the goal of the war at one point. We are now at a point where there is a mass turnaround. Nearly every ship attempting to cross has turned back. I want to show you this graphic in 1 second, but let's just back up and let me break down the series of events that have happened throughout the past hour or so. As usual, make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe to the Adam Mockler feed if you want to help support us. We are now above 2 million strong. We're going to continue to push. Okay,
real quick. Let me get for the elect's sake. St. Matthew 24, and what is that, 22? Those days. 22. St. Matthew 24 and 22, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Okay? So what does that mean? Time is moving faster. And people are confused. That's confusion. So all of this, like he just said, all this happened in the course of 2 hours. That's what he just said.
2 million strong. We're going to continue to push. Okay. As usual, make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe to the Adam Mockler feed if you want to help support us. We are now above 2 million strong. We're going to continue to push. Okay, so they report a flood of tankers and cargo ships were making a break for the Strait of Hormuz to exit the Persian Gulf. This was about an hour or two ago. So after all of these announcements were made, nearly 3 dozen ships were seen to be sailing towards the Strait of Hormuz via marine traffic,
thinking that it was open as it was,
including vessels declaring Chinese ownership, Indian ownership, French ownership. People had read Donald Trump's posts and they made the mistake of thinking that Donald Trump was serious in any way. And we'll read his posts in just one moment, but then we learn that numerous ships are making a break for the Strait of Hormuz this evening and have abrupt U-turns, have made abrupt U-turns. What are we doing here? The whiplash is absurd. The chaos is absurd. Numerous ships that were making a break for the Strait of Hormuz have made abrupt U-turns and are heading back towards the Persian Gulf. Over a dozen ships have already turned back, and now the rest are making an abrupt U-turn because the reality of this is simple. The Iranians expected that once they reopened the Strait of Hormuz, that the U.S. would drop our own naval blockade and release their oil. So now that the United States has failed to do that, and failed to release their oil, and failed to live up to the very simple conditioning that Iran set out, the United States is now stuck in another chaotic situation. Now, it is maximal chaos out here, and Trump thinks he's the master deal maker. He thinks that he's always maintaining leverage, and he's able to reopen the strait while maintaining the blockade on just Iranian countries.
What he's doing is he's stalling. He's manipulating the stock market for the weekend, and he's stalling until they get everything in place so that they can attack this weekend. Okay, it's not so much about opening the strait; it's about the attack. That's why all the soldiers are in the theater right now.
But Iran said, no, you're not this master deal maker with all of this leverage. You're sloppy, you're reckless, you're not a great leader. And Iran decided to reclose the Strait of Hormuz. There was a mass turnaround that happened, and you can see it happen right here. Let me actually slow it down on Twitter for you all and take it to half speed down here. And once I do, you can see that a lot of the boats, a lot of the vessels, a lot of the ships that were headed towards the Strait of Hormuz begin to immediately turn around once they hit this key area. They clearly turn around because the Iranians tell them that they need to go back. You see them turning at the very last moment.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close it right there because, peace and safety. Let's get that. So the destruction is coming this weekend. Today, Friday, yeah? You got all the way. See, when the market closes, all bets are off. Not until Monday when they want that thing to come back down. So, peace. And First Timothy 5:3 in the NLT, when people are saying everything is peaceful and secure, then disaster will fall on them as suddenly as a pregnant woman's labor pains begin, and there will be no escape. So that's pretty much what we're looking at. Look for the bombs to start dropping. This thing is not going to go to no ceasefire. It's not going to be over. All right. They do have some stalling to do between now and the sea hip, but we'll see how they, pull that off. But until then, we'll just keep watching. With that, we pray that the elect ratified you brothers and you sisters with that. Shabbat shalom.